Okay, shalom everybody. Shalom one and all. What a wonderful afternoon. Beautiful day outside, and a beautiful spirit here in the sanctuary. Everything okay? Good. Well, I'm just overjoyed. I get to see familiar faces. I get to see faces I haven't seen in some time. We have people here from TBT, from Merrick, from Schechter, from all over, and I welcome everybody. I'm happy that we're sharing this very special afternoon concert together. Mothers in the crowd, grandmothers in the crowd. Any great-grandmothers in the crowd? Yeah, I'm sure there are. To all of you, we're just so grateful for the love that you share and the wisdom that you share and the strength that you share. For all that you do, we thank you, and I wish all a happy, happy Mother's Day. This is not Rabbi Jack Hour, so I'm stepping down. Without further ado, I'm just so delighted to introduce the performers. I know Cantor Sokol has worked very, very hard to put this afternoon together, so a special yesher koach to him. And he'll introduce the other musicians who are here and other performers. We have Cantor Warschawski from the Merrick Jewish Center and so many others who are making this a concert to remember. So without further ado, everyone, welcome, and let's get started.
So my wonderful sound engineer told me to stay in the middle. So here I am in the middle. Good afternoon to everybody. It's really exciting to be here with you to celebrate our imahot, our matriarchs, on Mother's Day. Although, as some people have reminded me, Mother's Day is a little bit of a Hallmark holiday, but we should actually be celebrating our mothers every day. Despite that, it's nice to be able to get together and to celebrate in our gratitude in song to the moms in our lives, as Rabbi said. We've worked hard today to craft a musical program that's unique and I think eclectic. You will be hearing many genres today, from opera to art song, klezmer, Yiddish, jazz, Israeli, and chazanut. In each, we hope to open up your ears and your hearts and minds to the vast cultural heritage that is ours as American Jews. I'd like to thank a number of people who've been essential to the planning and carrying out of today's concert, which has had many moving parts. First, our office staff and Lauren Ackerman in particular for help with the flyers and the logistics for the day. To our board of directors and its co-presidents, Nancy Marshall and Michael Cohn. To Rabbi Dermer for general support and encouragement. To our volunteers for today, Nancy and Craig Marshall, Sheila and Ivan Ziegler, taking tickets and ushering. Want to recognize Marilyn Reish and my own mother, Carol Sokol, for helping with the food preparation later. Speaking of which, always want to thank Juan and Ada. Those of us here know what a wonderful job they do for us in the building, and we thank them. Thank you as well to Ed Katzen, who helps with logistic support in the building, and to Rich Rothstein for technical assistance with the streaming and other technological needs. And as they say, Acharon Chaviv, last but not least, my dear friend Larry Sandberg in the back there, and his able techie assistant Jill Sandberg, who drove all the way down from Sharon, Massachusetts, to be here to manage our sound needs today. I want to offer special thanks and recognition to several supporters who provided financial assistance to allow today's concert. Chief among them, Diane and Howard Wohl, who are here today, who have been such wonderful supporters of mine, both here and at my former post at Schechter. I'd like to express my sincere thanks to Ken and Nancy Maltz, who donated the piano, by the way, which is getting its inauguration today, and just have been so supportive. Ken has been just like great with all his encouragement for things musical here at the synagogue. We've done a little bit of collaboration already, and I'm really looking forward to more and more in the years to come. Speaking of collaboration, a lot of the seed for today's concert came from my desire to collaborate with my colleague from the South, Cantor Benjamin Warschawski, at Merrick Jewish Center, and his wonderfully talented wife, Heather Johnson. They're the kind of musicians and people who make you want to do this kind of concert programming. And I really think you will see why that is in just a few moments. So enough talk, time for music. You'll see in your program that today's musical selections are divided into a few themes: courtship, motherhood and childhood, mama lushin, chazanis, and eternal love. Each theme represents some aspect of the experience of Jewish mothers and us, their children. I hope you will take in all of it and enjoy, whether you're here with us in person or watching the video stream. And to begin, I'm going to ask all of the singers forward. We're going to do one a cappella piece, and this is the one. Dodi Li. Just a quick word about this, even though I wrote it in the program, but it's worth repeating. This particular setting of Ana Dodi was written by my mentor, Cantor Charles Osborne, for my wedding with Francine. So it's a very special setting, which some of you have probably heard before. This was the original voicing, though, for tenor and bass, and I'm really excited to be singing this with my colleague, Ana Dodi.
Hinei are so happy to have traveled north on the island to be here with you today from Merrick. And now we're going to dwell in the land of opera. So how many people here know Don Giovanni? Okay, so I don't really need to introduce this piece. But if you don't, Don Giovanni, played by Benji, is, you know, a little bit of a womanizer, if you will. And he sees Zerlina, who is just getting married to Mazzetto. I'm Zerlina. And of course, he thinks, well, now I have to have this one too. So he tries to seduce her and says, you see that house over there? You come with me, that can be yours. Give me your hand and let's go off together. Well, he's rich and handsome and younger. Not really younger, but today. Sorry, honey. But happy Mother's Day. But she says, should I do it? I don't know, I want to, but I don't trust you, but oh gosh, look at, you're so handsome. Look at that house, but what about Mazzetto? Oh my gosh, and we'll see what happens.
Certo io, quel casinetto è mio, soli saremo, e la gioiello mio, ci sposeremo. La Cinarella mano, la mi dirai di sì. Vedi non è lontano, partiam ben io da qui.
il n'a jamais, jamais conduit de loi. Si tu ne m'aimes pas, je t'aime. Si je t'aime, prends garde à toi. Si tu ne m'aimes pas, si tu ne m'aimes pas, je t'aime. Mais si je t'aime, si je t'aime, prends garde à toi.
And now to go to a completely different way. Leonard Bernstein wrote an incredible cycle of songs written for baritone and mezzo. And it's called Arias and Barcarolles. Oh, we should have said, this is perfect. No one's singing. Everyone remember to turn your phones off. And it's a really beautiful text, and it's kind of really talking about, as I hold the score here, it goes back and forth. It's really telling the story of a couple and them coming together and falling apart and sort of their life together. And this song, Greeting, is this perfect little gem, this jewel that is simple and pure.
I'm very partial to French art song, and Gabriel Fauré is one of my favorite composers. This particular song and the one that follows it explore memory of mothers, really, memories that we take with us well into our later years. And this particular poem of Les Berceaux, the Cradles, evokes the memory of the tug that the cradles and the mothers have on us even many years after we've gone. Following that, I'm going to be offering one of my favorite, I won't call it an art song, but it almost is an art song by Naomi Shemer, Horchata Eucalyptus, which also explores the issues of memory and change and what things remain constant.
Al
הגשר הסירה ורייח המלוח על המים מעבר לירדן רעמו התותחים והשלום חזר בסוף הקיץ וכל התינוקות היו לאנשים ושוב על הגבעה הקימו בית אבל על חוף ירדן כמו מאומה לא קרה אותה דומיה וגם אותה תפארה חורשת האקליפטוס הגשר הסירה וריח המלוח על המים חורשת האקליפטוס הגשר הסירה וריח המלוח על המים בשביל הנה יורדת עדת התינוקות הם בירדן ישכשכו רגליים גדלו הילדים וגם למדו לשחות ובני הנעורים חותרים לשניים אבל על חוף ירדן כמו מאומה לא קרה אותה דומיה וגם אותה תפארה חורשת האקליפטוס הגשר הסירה וריח המלוח על המים חורשת האקליפטוס הגשר הסירה וריח המלוח על המים
Hi, friends. Happy Mother's Day. I hope you're all enjoying this afternoon at least half as much as we're having fun putting this on for you. Well, it's so special. I haven't gotten to take part in too many Mother's Day concerts, especially not with my own wife and mother of our child. So I'd like to take just a quick moment and say there are so many different cultures that celebrate the same thing. We all know that as Jews. Our experience is not necessarily unique. It's just our flavor of a very close family, of these ideas that are very Jewish, and the idea of fealty to mother is a big one. But it's not only Jewish. So, I wanted to take an opportunity to introduce you to a different perspective on motherhood, and from a different place. And this place is sung from the point of a son. And this is a beautiful song was written by Bisio, actually originally in French, but most commonly done in Italian, where the son says to his mother, "Mamma, son tanto felice perché ritorno da te." I'm so happy, Mama, that I get to come back to you. And why does he say that? He says that because "Ma la mia canzone mia più bella sei tu." The most beautiful song of mine, it's you. E per la vita non ti lascio mai più. And for the rest of our lives, I won't leave you. Our son Sam happens to call my dear wife Heather Mama. So, since this is part of our Mother's Day celebration in the Warschawski home, I'd like you all to join me in feeling for yourselves, for those of you who still have children at home or just before they're going out, and singing this song on behalf of the kids to their moms and dedicating this to my darling wife, Heather. Thank you, Mama.
Mamma, son tanto felice perché ritorno da te. La mia canzone ti dice che è il più bel giorno per me. Mamma, son tanto felice vivir lontano perché mamma, solo per te la mia canzone vola. Mamma, sarai con me, tu non sarai più sola. Quando ti voglio bene, queste parole d'amore che ti sospira il mio cuore, forse non s'usano più. Mamma, ma la canzone mia più bella sei tu. Sei tu la vita e per la vita non ti lascio mai più. Quanto ti voglio bene, queste parole d'amore che ti sospira il mio cuore, forse non s'usano più. Mamma, ma la canzone mia più bella sei tu la vita e per la vita non ti lascio mai più. All right. Well, from Italian to some Mama Lushan, a few pieces in Yiddish. Starting with In Cheder, really one of my favorite true Yiddish art songs by Moses Milner. Tells the story of the Lehrer who's trying to teach his charge to read, as I said, and it's a battle with the boy and the teacher. But the important part is that the Lehrer knows that what he's doing is way more than teaching the child Aleph Beis. He's teaching the child, he's opening up the world of the child to everything of Torah and everything of Jewish text. And so that's his message in the end, and he's much more serious about it, but you'll see there's a little interplay between the two of them. It's a wonderful, wonderful piece, and I thank already Elliot Roman, who's our wonderful pianist. He has a lot of challenging repertoire to put together, including this piece, Moses Milner's In Cheder. Zu mir und guck in die kleine Äußelech, teure Äußelech, gilderne Äußelech, Gicher, Gicher, kum aher. Zu mir und guck in die kleine Äußerech, Tayr oisilach, gilderne oisilach, gicher, gicher, kum aher. Hat kein Meure, nit schreckt sich nit. Hat das Heu, setz sich weg und hör euch mit Kopf. Setz sich, hat das Heu, hör sich zu. Kommet's Alef O, kommet's Beis Bo, kommet's Gimel Go, kommet's Daled Do. Pasach Alef A, Pasach Beis Ba, Pasach Gimel Ga, Pasach Daled Da. Otazoi Jingle, Otazoi darf man lernen Jingle, oi weiter Jingle. Tu a gucken sie deren sog noch einmal. Kommet's Alef A, kommet's Beis Ba, höher, starker, A, Ba. Otazoi darf man lernen Jingle, A, Ba, Ga, Da. Höher, starker. Otazoi darf man lernen, Jingle. A, Ba, Ga, Da. Otazoi freilicher, lebendiger, genarnig. Otazoi Jingle darf man lernen, teure. Teure ist die beste Scheure. Volksgewöhn hat Herr Jingle, sollt ins Eingang genarnig. Ei, bist du a genarnig, Jingle, genug scheun, vermachten Sider, bist frei. Gedenk, mein Kind, ei darf lernen teure, als sagt uns der Heiliger Beure. Als man wird dich fragen, was hast du getan in Cheder, sollst du sagen, hast gelernt teure. Gedenk, teure, noch einmal teure, 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 teure. And we get to welcome to the Bima, the stage of the day, our wonderful friend Ken Maltz, terrific clarinetist and wind player. And this particular song, this is the first time I'm ever singing this song in concert, but it's one of my mother's favorites, and so it had to make the list. This is Eishes Chayil by Rumshinsky, and as I wrote in the program, if you have an Eishes Chayil in your life, there's no greater luck. Leuben danken Gott, darf der Mann wo's hat, an eisches Chayil an Antik. Wie hat sich eines lieb, Schulem herrscht in Stieb, es ist nicht kein größer Glück. Die freut sich mit ein Freit, sie teilt sich mit ein Leid, sie teilt der Zeit der Liebe Sicherheit. Anamese eishes Chayil, anamese eishes Chayil, a Teire, kein Treire, für diese nicht durch a goldene Schumme, oi a naches na nechume, a liebe Frau, a gitte Mammen ju. Ah, sei feiner Frau wie sie, bring in euch a Harmonie, se leben is a Symphonie, oi eishes Chayil, mi me zon, amese eishes Chayil, oi amese eishes Chayil, a Teire, kein Treire, für mir nicht durchbrüllen, aber goldene Schumme, euer Naches na Nechume, a liebe Frau, gitte Mammen ju.
This next song needs no introduction. Obviously, important song for today, a beautiful Yiddish take on the beautiful Yiddishe Mama. I sing this song thinking of my mother and dedicating it in my heart to her, but to all of you and all the mothers who are here and that we're all thinking of in consciousness together. A Yiddishe Mama.
Kasche fragen, sagt mir, wer es kann. Mit welche teure Vermögens wünscht Gott allen. Nen kauft es nicht für keine Geld, das gibt man nur im Süßt. Und doch, als man verliert es, wie viel Tränen man vergisst. Zweite gibt man keinem nicht, es hilft nicht kein Gewinn. Oh, ihr werdet tot verloren, der weiß schon, wo's ich mein. A Yiddishe Mame, es gibt nicht besser in der Welt. A Yiddishe Mame, oi weh wie bitter, wenn sie fällt. Wie schön und niedlich sind's aus, wenn die Mame ist da. Wie treurig finster wird, wenn Gott nehmt ihr auf einem Abo. Im Wasser und Feuer wollt sie gelaufen vor ihr Kind. Nicht halten ihr Teure, du siehst gewiss die größte Sünd. Oi, wie glücklich und reich ist der Mensch, was hat, als a schöne Matone geschenkt fin Gott. Nur ein altitschke Yiddische Mame,
2 minutes, 2 minutes, 2-minute warning. Okay, if people could start taking their seats, we'd love to get started again. You might say one of these things doesn't belong, which is to say that we're doing a set of chazanas, but it actually does belong, because chazanas is certainly part of our Jewish cultural heritage. I will say, in my family, my grandmother, may she rest in peace, was a real lover of chazanas. Actually, both of my grandmothers, one in particular, who had lots of brothers and sisters who were musicians and some cantors. So that is part of who we are. I just wanted to say one word about the first selection that my son Benjamin is going to be singing, which is a setting of Kaddish by Maurice Ravel. Again, talking about something that doesn't belong. Ravel certainly wasn't Jewish, but he wrote a lot of what he called exotic pieces, and this was in his phase of exotic pieces. But this isn't a composed piece in the sense of all new stuff. This is legit new stuff. Like those of you who know me as a chazan and someone who taught Nusach, I studied the Nusach that Ravel actually grabbed this from. For most of us in the Ashkenazic world, the melody we would be used to hearing for the same part of the service is so it's very similar to what you're going to hear now in this French version of the Nusach of the High Holidays that Ravel set. It's a gorgeous piece, gorgeous setting, very pianistic. I hope you enjoy it, and I'll let you.
It God all, ושבחתה ונחמתה דמירן
Oh, that'll be easy to follow. Bravo. Bravo. Exactly. Shkof. Beautiful. Modi manachnu lach. We give thanks to you. Quick story and a quick piece of Torah. Quick story. When I was a young cantor, I learned sort of in the old school way. I started in a synagogue choir, singing all sorts of old music with photocopies on it and paper clips photocopied into the music and bars missing. And I used to like to take it home and try to refine the arrangements in the pieces. I see some people smiling here. We know that deal. Before Finale and Sibelius became popular. And in that time, I received a number of wonderful old Nusach books from some of the cantors. I had the privilege to know and work with some of the old Nusach books. And there was a certain handwriting in them that I recognized so strongly. When I became cantor in Chicago, when I was there, started, about 20 years ago, a man gave me a piece of music, an old cantor gave me a piece of music. And I said, gosh, I know this handwriting. And this old cantor, David Brandhandler, who was a cantor in Chicago, said, yeah, that's my handwriting. I said, but this is your music. And he said, yes, I wrote it and did it. I said, but I know your handwriting not from your music. And he said, well, that was the thing. I was one of the better musicians back then, and teachers of mine, like Todros Greenberg, etc., used him to write down their nusach in their nusach books. So I had become familiar with his handwriting, his musical notation, long before I got to meet Cantor Brandhandler. He was not a prolific composer, but he was a lovely man of Norwegian descent. Was from Norway, actually, originally. And this is one of his signature pieces that not many people perform. I've had the good fortune, obviously, to become acquainted with it in Chicago and perform it quite a number of times, both in synagogue and in performances such as these. And now a little piece of Torah. Modi manachnu lach. We know we have two types of mitzvot, or two types of ways of being in Judaism. Ben Adam leMakom, between man and God. Ben Adam leChavero, and man and his friend. Sort of the two different spheres we work in. Now, I like to think that there's actually no difference between those, because I think on some level there's a piece of godliness in all of us. And what's the same in both of those? The Adam. And who's the Adam? Us. You. Me. So whether it's thanking God or thanking a person, it's the same practice. I think that's the spiritual practice of Judaism underneath this thankfulness. So in this case, the text obviously comes from our tefillot, and is a Modi manachnu lach, the lach being a capital lach, capital L, as in God, thank you to God. But I think that it's just an allegory for the consciousness of thankfulness, particularly that inhabits a day like Mother's Day, to be thankful. So Modi manachnu lach, thank you all.
אנחנו לא atahu Adonai Eloheinu Ve'Elohei Avoseinu Le'olam voed. Sur Chayenu Mogen Yishenu Atahu Ledor Vador unisapere ti lo secha alechayenu alechayenu amesurim biyodecha modim modim אנחנו לך על חיינו על חיינו המסורים בידך ויעל ישמענו הבקודש לך ויעל ישך שבכל יום עמנו ויעל יפלוסך וטוב עושך ויעל יפלוסך וטוב עושך שבכל עיס ערב ובוקר לצהריים ערב ובוקר וצהריים הטוב כי לא כל רחמך והמרחם כי לא שמו רצונך
Let's go, baby. I think in your programs for Va'afu it says, don't try this at home. Okay, so we're just going to try it here and see how it goes. Hope you enjoy Va'afu Rosenblatt from the Yom Kippur Avoda service.
Tenors, this was the two Benjamins, and we'll see them on tour. So, Chazanis takes a lot of forms. I programmed this next piece for a bunch of reasons, but the main ones, first of all, is modern cantorial compositions that are done in the synagogue are really lovely, and we often don't think of them as Chazanis, but I do. Second of all, the composer of this piece is someone we unfortunately just lost this past year, Ben Steinberg, who's a real gadol, a real important person in the Jewish musical world, and I wanted to give him some kavod in that. And one of the main lines in this setting has to do with kibud avaim, the honoring of one's father and mother. So it seems to all tie together, and of course I wanted to do it with Heather, so that was the fourth reason. So this is Elu Devarim. These are the things for which we have some earthly reward, but the greater reward comes in heaven.
וגמילות חסדים ותלמוד תורה. אלו דברים שאין להם שיעור הקיים, והוויכוחים והרעיון. וגמילות חסדים ותלמוד תורה. הקרן קיימת לו לעולם רק. אהבת שלום בין אדם לחברו. דברים שאין להם שיעור הקיים, והוויכוחים והרעיון. וגמילות חסדים ותלמוד תורה. ותלמוד תורה. ותלמוד Things have come to a pretty pass. Our romance is growing flat. For you like this and the other, while I go for this and that. Goodness knows what the end will bring. Oh, I don't know where I'm at. It looks as if we two will never be one. Something must be done. You say either, and I say either. You say neither, and I say neither. Either, neither. Let's call the whole thing off. You like potato, and I like potato. You like tomato, and I like tomato. Potato, tomato.
Let's call the whole thing off.
But oh, if we call the whole thing off, then we must part. And oh, if we have a part, then that might break my heart. So if you like pajamas and I like pajamas, I'll wear pajamas and give up pajamas. For we know we need each other, so we better call the calling off. Let's call the whole thing off.
You say laughter and I say laughter. You say after and I say after.
Laughter, after. Let's call the whole thing off.
You like vanilla and I like vanilla. You sarsaparilla and I sarsaparilla.
Vanilla, chocolate.
Oh, Mitchell.
Let's call the whole thing off.
But oh, if we have a part, then we must break my heart. And oh, if we have a part, then that will break my heart. So if you go for oysters and I go for oysters, I'll order oysters and cancel the oysters.
For we know we need each other, so we better call the calling off. Let's call the whole thing off. Surely one of the best known and loved Israeli love songs, Erev Shoshani, Evening of Roses.
Marilyn has her idea. This is the part that you have to pretend that you want nothing. Thank you. We will do one more piece. And you saw what it was already, so no surprises. That big sind. As long as you got your health, thank God, that's all we need. But I also need some gratitude again. I just want to introduce once again everyone up here and behind us. We have Elliot Roman on the piano. We have our very own Ken Maltz. My son, Benjamin Sokol. Cantor Benjamin Warschawski. Heather Johnson. My wife, Francine Sokol. And my son, Scott Sokol. And let's all hope we keep our health.
Amen. Wie gesinnt.
Ein bisschen Sinn, ein bisschen Leiden, ein Blick auf den Kopf zu legen, wie gesinnt, kein menschlich sein.
אשר חזוק הכלי נולדתס, הגשרנה דרייפן צרותתס, wie gesinnt, kein menschlich sein. Die Luft ist frei. Ein bisschen lachen, einmal mehr Freund, ein Schnäpsel machen, wie gesinnt, kann man glücklich sein.
Finger sandwiches, a la Marilyn Carroll, and scones, and other good stuff. Lots of tea. So have some tea and join us for our Mother's Day celebration.